Full quote, "These allegations are credible, they are numerous, I've heard these women's testimony and many of them are heartbreaking. President Trump should resign his position. Whether he will ever hold himself accountable is something you really can't hold your breath for, and so Congress should have hearings, they should do their investigation, they should have appropriate investigations of his behavior and hold him accountable. An experimental drug could slow the spread of Huntington's disease, giving hopes to patients suffering from uncontrolled movements and mental confusion associated with the disease," reports The Guardian. An early-stage trial of the drug was conducted with 46 patients in the UK, Germany and Canada. Why it matters: Huntington's disease is an inherited condition resulting from a genetic mutation. Current treatments can only help minimize the symptoms, instead of slowing it down. Professor Sarah Tabriz at UK's University College of London said in a statement on Monday that the drug has lowered the level of the toxic disease-causing protein in the nervous system, and the drug was safe and well tolerated. The key now is to move quickly to a larger trial to test whether the drug slows disease progression. Behind Jackson's warning, Jackson argued that even though the opt was not published in the US, it still could have tainted a local jury given the accessibility of global media. All that has to happen is for that favorable article, which is going to look on its face to be entirely independent, but is actually in part a message crafted and shaped by you, is to have somebody you know post it on Facebook, Twitter or a blog, and you have accomplished your goal, given the power of retweeting, she said. Go deeper: Mueller weaponizes Microsoft Word, how the Russia probe closed in on Manafort. Celebrity chef Mario Batali is stepping away from his show The Chew and his restaurant empire after 4 women anonymously accused him of UAL misconduct. The allegations, which span at least 2 decades, were detailed in a report published by food website Eater on Monday. Batali did not deny the allegations, and apologized for his behavior in a statement to Eater. Much of the behavior described does, in fact, match up with ways I have acted. That behavior was wrong and there are no excuses. I take responsibility and am deeply sorry for any pain, humiliation or discomfort I have caused to my peers, employees, customers, friends and family. The allegations: 4 women, 3 of whom had reportedly worked for Batali in some capacity, said the chef touched them inappropriately. One woman who never worked for Batali said the chef rubbed her breasts with his bare hands after someone spilled wine down her chest. Another accuser told Eater that Batali touched her inappropriately on several occasions while working for him in the 1990s. She detailed one instance when she says he approached her from behind at the restaurant and put his hand on half of my butt and he squeezed it. Another former employee said Batali repeatedly grabbed her from behind and pressed her body against his. A fourth accuser alleged that Batali grabbed her breasts at an industry party. Backlash: The Food Network said in a statement Monday that it is putting plans to relaunch Batali's Molto Mario show on hold. An ABC spokesperson also said the network has asked Batali to step away from The Chew while reviewing allegations. BB Hospitality Group, which represents 24 Batali-owned restaurants, said it took the allegations very seriously, and agreed with Batali that he will step away from the company's operations. Moreover, the analysis uses the White House's previous economic growth estimates made before the tax plan was written and works its way backwards into the math, rather than analyzing how the actual tax plan would affect economic growth. The backstory: Mnuchin spent months talking about a detailed Treasury analysis of the GOP tax plans, but the NY Times reported in late November that no such analysis actually existed. Today's release is an apparent remedy, although a single page feels pretty skimpy for an analysis that is supposed to help justify the most significant tax code changes since 1986. 3 of 16 women who have publicly accused President Trump of UAL misconduct spoke out together during a joint press conference hosted in New York City on Monday, calling for action amid the growing Me Too movement. Robert Greenwald, the president of Brave New Films, a non-profit that hosted the event, said that the accusers share similar stories about Trump, and their allegations deserve action. We know better. We know a lot better. Predators and harassers must be held accountable, said Greenwald, adding that elected officials, no matter what party affiliation, should act. The accusers, Rachel Crooks, said Congress must put aside party affiliations and investigate Trump's history of UAL misconduct. She described Trump's behavior as serial misconduct and perversion. Jessica Leeds said she hopes the Me Too movement will put enough pressure on Congress to address not only their own members' misconduct but also the president's. Samantha Holvey emphasized that the MeToo movement isn't a partisan issue. They've investigated other Congress members, so I think it only stands fair he be investigated as well. The response: White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders has said their claims are false. Go deeper. The women also spoke with Megyn Kelly in an interview on NBC Monday. Joyce Simmons, a Republican National Committee woman from Nebraska, resigned from the organization Monday over their financial support of embattled Senate candidate Roy Moore in Alabama, Politico reports. In an email to colleagues, Simmons wrote, "I strongly disagree with the recent RNC financial support directed to the Alabama Republican Party for use in the Roy Moore race. There is much I could say about this situation, but I will defer to this weekend's comments by Senator Shelby." Amazon has quietly become the second largest seller of apparel in the United States, investing heavily in its own private label offerings, which customers have flocked to for their value. As designer Jackie Wilson tells Bloomberg, they are not concerned at all about how many units they sell, and they're not focused on margins. They're concerned about customer satisfaction. They want 5-star reviews. Why it matters: younger shoppers have become much less loyal to name brands, and retailers like Amazon, Walmart, and Kohl's have capitalized by recruiting designers and Asian manufacturers to create their own lines of apparel. Amazon's clothes are so popular that 40% of all e-commerce clothing sales go through the platform.